Hi, this video is on how to replace the Dell E6520 keyboard. First thing we have to do is remove the battery and 3 screws. 1, 2, 3 is all you have to do. They have a little keyboard symbol right next to those 3 spots that you need to remove the screws for. So after we've done that, we have to remove the keyboard bezel, which is this spot that goes around the outside there. If you you can use a tool that's made specifically for that. However, if you can't, guitar pick works out great. I recommend something plastic because then you can go around the whole outside of it and not mar your case while you're doing that. So remove the bezel and remove it and put it out of the way, and then after I get this sucker out of there, there we go, put that aside, and then we have 5 screws to remove. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6, not 5. And I've already removed a couple of these screws. I'm going to remove a couple more of them. Now, there are 2 screws in each of these 2 locations. The one that's the one you want to remove is the one on this flange that goes over the keys here that hold that together. Let's see, 1, 2, I gotta get this one out. And once I've got all those, this should just lift up very nicely if I have all the ones out from underneath, and then lifts up, and then you can see right there where this connects. You just lift up the little white, and then it slides right out. Then we can take this and set it aside. And then we'll take our new keyboard. I'm using the term new loosely. I'm actually checking a couple of our other connections here because looky there, this is not in at all, and this user is having a touchpad error. I don't know that this is the one that goes to the touchpad, but I do know it's completely disconnected. So while I'm under here, and I had noticed when I was under here that this was not put in correctly, so this may be all she needs. Slide in there, check that down. I'm going to check the other ones as well. This one is also disconnected. Someone has been in this puppy and not put it all back together right. And this one is locked underneath there. See if we can get this one back in the way it goes as well. Down there. Hopefully that'll go underneath there without messing it up. And there's another ribbon cable right there that's missing and not connected as well. I'm looking at my other one that I have torn apart next to me. I'm going to check this one and make sure this one's in all the way. This one looks like it is. Whoever worked on this last didn't do a good job. We'll just leave it at that. Both those should have been connected, and now they are reconnected. We'll see if that solves our problem that we're actually trying the keyboard for. So I'm going to slide this, first of all. This is up. It just slides right in. You can see it slides in pretty far, and if you grab it by the blue here, that's kind of the spot that's easier to put it in with. It's harder than the ribbon cable itself. And once I get that in there, if I get it in there right, then that just goes down and locks into it. Okay, now I just put it in all the way underneath the front and put it down flat. Snap this in there nice and flat, and then I'll return those 6 screws. This one was not put on. This one was actually underneath when I took off this keyboard originally. I'm going to start booting it while I'm finishing the screws on this, just because I'm curious to see if I solved the keyboard problem, the mouse problem, with those 2 ribbon cables. They were disconnected underneath. And I am hopeful that I have. If not, I at least reconnected some ribbon cables that were disconnected. Still did not solve that problem. Although, it could be installing the drivers for it. Right now, I'm going to slide this down a little bit. So my username and password aren't in the video. Because if it's a driver issue, it may be reinstalling those drivers right now. Plug in an external. Oh, dropping memory. Let's see if the Dell touchpad's still not showing up there. Okay, well, we'll finish closing up shop here on this keyboard, and then we'll tackle the touchpad issue as a separate item. Once I've got these 6 screws in on this side, I take the bezel, and I usually start in one corner and try to work my way around nice and slowly, popping those all back in there. Now I've got those all popped in around the outside, and I'm going to put my last 3 screws in there, and I'll be done with installing and swapping out my keyboard on my Dell E6500.